The series that she's reading?
Yeah.
Or like she read?
The Rise and
The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess.
Yeah, that one.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Madeline Bookout.
And I'm Hannah Bookout. And this is the Check This Book Out podcast where two sisters talk about fantasy and romance.
Today, we're coming back to you with another book review episode for our June book club.
Mm-hmm.
We read and will be reviewing This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Ilona Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
This is a portal fantasy, a new genre, sort of, for this. Yeah, it is.
For the podcast?
No, for the authors. I was going to say for the authors.
Oh.
They usually, Ilona Andrews is a writing duo. It's a husband and wife duo. And they typically write like urban fantasy. So this is their deep dive into full fantasy world. And we're going to get into the plot, characters, writing style, themes.
Yeah, I think that sums it up.
Yeah. So everybody, without further ado, find your comfy reading chair. Grab your pet Selka. Is that what it's called?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And let's check this book out.
I thought you were going to say pet fish for a second.
I could have.
Yeah, you could.
I have so many things to say about that damn fish.
I know you do. Based on our Fable book club, I know you have plenty to say.
I've been hyper fixated on the fish, guys.
You were.
Shall we start with our ratings or with like a spoiler-free plot review thing?
Let's do ratings first.
Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
3.75. Dang, okay.
I thought I'm
a little disappointed.
I
won't lie.
I feel like I disappointed you.
Yeah. I'm gonna change your mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna change your mind.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Please do, because I had a full discussion with Nolan about my rating. Do you want me to tell you why now?
No, let's go. Okay. Tell me after we do the spoiler free.
So essentially, as I said, this is a portal fantasy where Maggie, our female main character, wakes up in the world of her favorite fantasy series that she has read and reread not hundreds, but many times, and she knows this world and
like the back of her hand.
Yeah, like the back of her hand. The trilogy of this series that she's in the world of is unfinished and left off on a huge cliffhanger and was devastating and tragic and traumatic. And so she kind of is basically trying to sort out where in the timeline she is and how to survive and how to save the world, pretty much.
The world that she's thrown into, it's like cutthroat, like brutal, total like medieval type world.
Yeah.
And she is trying to navigate how to kind of like save her favorite characters,
navigate
politics.
Yeah. I described it to Nolan as, and I think actually maybe this was in the book blurb, but it says it's a hybrid, like a crossover of Outlander and Game of Thrones.
I haven't read either of those, so
I haven't read either of them, but I have seen both of them on TV.
Oh, okay.
Not all of Outlander, but I've seen all of Game of Thrones.
Well,
so
would you say?
I would say it's accurate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the whole plot, like premise of Outlander, is that she wakes up in like a I think it's like a Viking world. She touches a stone.
Fantasy.
Yeah, it's a portal fantasy. And then I think that the Game of Thrones element for like the medieval timeline or setting and also the like gory, kind of gruesome, gross aspects of the story is definitely what hits there.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well,
that's was that intriguing enough? Did that make people want to read it?
I think so. I would hope so. What
I'll say from a spoiler-free standpoint is that this is truly unlike anything I've ever read.
Same.
Very unique. Does not have the normal tropes. I mean, it has tropes in it, but it's not the normal plot points that you see in a lot of romantic fantasies or fantasy or romantasies right now.
I would say it even avoids a lot of tropes you would see in a portal fantasy.
Agreed. Totally agree.
I think the authors really take it in a total different direction. So I thought that was cool.
I agree. So now getting into the spoiler part of this episode. If you haven't read the book, sayonara, go read it, come back, watch the episode. We get very deep into our reviews. So
we do.
This episode is for that one girl who commented on our YouTube for I can't remember which episode it was, but she was like, I read This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, and I was like, okay, that should be our next episode.
Oh yeah, shout out to you.
Yeah,
Thank
I don't
you.
know where you are.
Thank you.
But welcome back if you're still here.
Welcome back.
Before we even get into writing style, can I explain my rating?
Okay, you want to give me the broad strokes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to give you the broad strokes of my rating.
Give me the broad strokes of your rating.
The first 30% of this book was boring for me.
Okay.
And in fact, every time I picked up the book, I fell asleep.
Dang.
Genuinely.
Okay, wow.
To be fair, I want to put this in the lens of I had just come out of reading Bastion, and that book is so fast paced.
Yeah.
And the world building is done totally differently. And it's just such a different book that slowing down like that, I think, had a big effect on it. But I really did. I like genuinely fell asleep every time I opened it. So that was one thing. So I told Nolan when I was describing my rating to him, or I asked him to help me decide what it was actually. I said that for the first 30 to 40%, it was like a 3-star read, maybe even 2.5.
Okay.
And then you hit 50%, 40 to 50, and it bumped up to like a 4. And then for the last 25, 30%, it was 5. So that kind of brought me in the middle.
Yeah.
Down to a 3.75.
Okay. I would agree with you. Like, I was hooked from page 1, like, no doubt. But the first 40, 50%, I was just kind of like, you know, ambling along, going through the plot, going through the motions, and I was still hooked. And everything was still interesting, and I liked getting to know the world and the characters, but I agree, it kind of was like a slower build. You kind of are like, what is she really trying to accomplish at first?
Yeah, what is the purpose?
Well, it's like, you know what her purpose and her quest is, but like she's kind of taking like different alleys and avenues than what you kind of think. It's like, okay, well, let's continue. Let's keep going on the original quest. But once you hit 50%, I was just devouring it. Yeah. Like, I could not put it down. Like, I was laughing. I was crying. I was kicking my feet and giggling. I was blushing. Giggling. And
I had to take a lap.
My jaw was on the floor. Like, that's how I felt. The last 50%.
The last 50% was like 4.5 to 5 stars.
Yeah. So I guess I would say maybe the first 50% I would give like a 3.5 or yeah. And then the last 50% I would give like a 4.75.
Yeah, that's pretty much the sum of how I felt about it too. If I had rated it based on the last 50% alone, I would be not giving credit to the frustrations I had for like a majority, a whole half of the book.
Yeah. And
so I had to tell myself like, it's okay to give something less than 4 stars, Madeline.
Yeah. It is. That's okay.
But hey, you're going to convince me to go up anyways.
Yeah.
You're going to convince me. Okay. Let's talk about the writing style.
Let's do it.
So I knew this going into reading the book because I had kind of read some of the reviews beforehand, but it is super info dumpy. It is not, to me, it felt like not a natural world building.
So you're kind of agreeing with the other reviewers? See, I can understand that, but I also was like, this is an atypical portal fantasy like I've read before. And it was like, oh, well, you're spoiling the plot of a book that doesn't even exist.
I was joking.
Well,
in that comment.
No,
I know. Oh, okay.
But it's like, that's kind of like what it is. Like,
yeah.
She has to kind of mansplain the world to you.
She does.
But to me, it was kind of like, oh, okay, thanks for the breadcrumb. Like, next. Like, it wasn't the priority. She had to get it out of the way.
I know that it was necessary. I just don't know if it was well done.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there is a way that they could have done it better, but it really didn't bother me. Like, at all.
It bothered me because I couldn't keep track of who anybody was. I could not picture for the life of me what the kingdom looked like. I was having trouble understanding it, and it was putting me to sleep.
That's crazy.
I struggled. I really struggled, and I still don't know who Silverson, whatever his name is.
Really?
Genuinely? I mean, I know now but here's the thing. In the
second... What the fuck, Silverson?
The guy at the end, the very end.
Oh, yeah.
I think his name is Silverson.
Is that actually his name? Are you
It's
sure?
not his real name, but
Are
that's
you
what they call him.
sure?
I am sure. No, it's Silveren.
Okay, thank you.
It's Slytherin.
Silveren.
Yeah, sorry, it's Silveren. But that's my point. We have like Sovereign or Sovereign. I don't know if it has an R in it. For half of the book, I thought his name was Everend and not Everard.
What?
And then it was Reynald, but also Raymond, and I kept getting them confused. And then I was like, there's too many R names, there's too many S names. I couldn't keep track of who was who. I didn't remember their backgrounds by the time that it actually became relevant. I struggled.
I think you were falling asleep.
I mean, I was a little bit. I was asleep at the wheel, for sure.
I think you were a little bit.
Okay, but at the same time, I was not the only one who had that problem.
Yeah, that's true.
If I go read all of the 2-star and 1-star reviews, it was like, no, I had no idea what was going on. A majority of the book, I had to like go back and search in my Kindle and go to where she info dumped in the first half of the book.
I did have to do that once, where Everard was explaining each of the house's main like patriarchs like magic system, like, or their power. So I did
see that stuck with me, but the rest of it, you maybe you have a higher reading comprehension than me.
Well, compared to you and a lot of other readers, I don't know, but I don't know.
It just
I kind of
clicked for you?
I guess so.
As I said, I don't really see how there was any way around it.
I think I know how to put it.
Okay.
What I can picture is like her series that she's talking about in the what's the name of it?
Maggie the Undying.
No, not this book. Not this Kingdom Will Not Kill Me.
The Rise of Kertorin. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. The series that she's reading.
Yeah.
Or like she read.
The Rise and
the Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess.
Yeah, that one.
I'm pretty sure it's called The Rise of Kertorin.
Kertorin. Okay.
I'm not even gonna look.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
It doesn't matter.
Book
it doesn't
Maggie read.
Matter. Yeah.
The fantasy series that Maggie is living.
Yeah.
What I kind of pictured is like, I guess you could call it like a Game of Thrones, but I'm just like picturing like the most insane like characters, like so many different POVs. Like we're following this character and then this one, and it's kind of just like a modge podge of all these stories. And I guess me kind of thinking what that fantasy series was like, and it's just all these different threads, and it's kind of like one of those like old fantasy books, like something
the Wheel
from like
of Time,
yeah,
or like
right,
yeah,
where it's just a lot of different POVs and it's all in third person. So I guess me going in with that expectation of like, oh, that's what that book was like, and Maggie having to like explain, oh, that's what this character did and this character, because it kind of was like a book ADHD. Like you had to keep track of all these characters, and
it was just so much show, not tell, which I think is unavoidable. Yeah. I genuinely do think it's unavoidable.
Yeah, I think in that regard.
Because in order for the plot to pick up its pace, we had to have the foundational knowledge that she did. Otherwise, we were going to be so in the dark. But despite all that info dumping, I did feel in the dark because I thought it was confusing.
That's fair.
That's how I would describe it. I just don't think that was just not my favorite thing. But I don't know, because I'm not a writer, I don't know how she could have done it better.
Yeah. Because what I would imagine is as she met each character, she would go like, oh, this is what I know about them. But she did kind of go out of order a little bit and kind of move around of this character and then this character, or like, oh, the tower, and this is the tower, and this is the... It
just wasn't always natural.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes it was, but sometimes it wasn't. Like, it wasn't relevant at the time.
Yeah.
And so I had to go back. I found it a better mechanism when she was explaining things to other people, you know? For example, when she was like telling somebody about something in the future, in her version of the future based on the books, she would go into detail about a character's personality. Those details stuck with me more than when in her inner monologue she was like reciting facts.
Yeah.
And that to me was so boring. Like, I literally would have to go back and read pages. I was skipping pages at some points, and I'd have to go back and reread them because I realized my brain hadn't processed any of it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I've never felt this way before.
You know, I'll point out this. You going from reading Bastion by Phil Tucker, where it's like the main character literally knows nothing about his world, and he's learning
to her knowing everything.
Yeah, I think that's kind of whiplash.
It was whiplash.
So I think maybe you had a very unique circumstance in that regard and it was kind of exacerbated. So,
Mhm.
but I went from reading freaking Metal Slinger,
No world building
no world building
whatsoever.
at all, to this book.
That's fair. Yeah, I do think that it was a part of like my reading experience, but I'm not the only one.
Yeah, you're not.
There is something to be said about that.
Yeah, I acknowledge that.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else about the writing style. Very simple. I didn't think that it was overly descriptive or that it was flowery. I thought it was just very straightforward, which I've read her other books, very similar writing style. But I didn't really feel like it needed more. I did love, and maybe this is a little bit of a character comment, I did love her inner monologue, I have to say.
She's kind of funny.
She is funny. I think she's funny.
Like, she's talking about HEB and she's talking about like Austin, Texas, and she's like, this is not my neighborhood HEB. Yeah, girl, it's not.
Yeah, girl, you missed that lemonade or whatever it was. Orange juice, me too.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's why I think this Portal Fantasy specifically was so interesting, is that she is so true to her 2026 or 2025 self in her inner monologue. And I like that she sometimes lets it slip in the dialogue too.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. And it made her a much more relatable character because I could relate to it as a modern human being, but as somebody who loves fantasy as well, I loved seeing all the fantasy elements. So I got the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of like, I was excited when she like said the word fairy and they're like, wait, what was that?
Yeah.
Like, what was that word you just said?
She said the word train and they were
train.
Like, huh?
They're like, I didn't get that. What did you say?
Yeah, she named the Selka sushi and they're like, odd name, but pretty.
Right? Like, that to me was like, I love.
Oh my god, I'm just now realizing why she called it sushi.
Yeah, the fish.
Fucking fish.
Comes back to the fish,
it keeps coming back to the fish.
But I liked having like an inside joke with Maggie.
I did too.
That was so fun.
And I think that's more of like maybe it is a little bit of writing style. It's a kind of a combination between her character, but I liked the way her inner monologue was written. Aside from the info dumping, otherwise I thought that it was one of the only things that added like levity to the story, or at least like humor until the end when we get some of the better side characters.
You're right. I mean, in the beginning of the book, you get a lot of inner monologue. There is no dialogue, really.
Yeah.
Until she gets to the
garden.
Yeah, the garden. There's a lot of room to info dump when you're just stuck in your inner monologue. So, yeah.
It was hard. It was really hard. And I thought to myself, I partially did that to myself because I waited so long to start it because I wanted to finish Bastion. And then I had to just read it so quickly. I feel like if I had been able to take my time a little bit more, I would have been able to get into the story a little bit differently. But I felt rushed a little, so that's my fault. That's my fault. But I probably would have DNF'd it. Genuinely.
Wow, really?
Yeah. If I had not known that there was something coming to look forward to around like 40%, 50%, I was so bored. I just wanted something different. Maybe I would have come back to it eventually.
That just blows my hair back. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. Lately, we've just been having like
controversy.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Differing opinions.
It builds character.
It does. Makes the podcast interesting.
Shall we move on?
We shall.
We haven't talked about world building like truly yet, or the world itself.
Right.
You said the magic and stuff.
You said you had difficulty with imagining the world.
No. Only the location of things, and then I remembered that there was a map in the beginning, and I decided to use my brain and my eyes, and yeah.
You needed a map.
Yeah, I needed a map. But I also could not, for the world, like life of me, I could not keep track of who was the king, because they kept calling Everard Your Grace, and I know like now that it means that he's a duke, but for the longest time I was like, how many kings are there? And I was like, I swear to you, Hannah, I did not know until 60% that Relis was the kingdom. I thought it was the city.
So, okay, I will agree with you. The kingdom structure, like I'm talking city, town, dukedom, kingdom, that kind of thing, was not very clear until the end of the book.
Okay.
Where we're talking about mountain ranges and other countries that can invade.
Yeah.
It was a little bit vague.
Yeah.
No, but Keratorin is like the capital
I know.
city.
I know that now.
Yeah.
But only because I kept thinking to myself, you've got to stop. You've got to stop this, Madeline, and you just need to go look at the map and you need to know if Relis is a city or a country.
Yeah.
And I did. And I was like, okay, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, where is Selva? Who is I thought Selva was a person.
My God. Madeline,
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned about your attention span here with this book.
No, it was hard. There were so many S's.
Okay.
And you want me to list them off for you?
I don't.
And there were so many R's. There was also like Ralbanor or whatever. Yeah, you don't even know who that is. Guess what? That's Silveren's daddy.
Silveren's daddy.
It is his daddy.
I don't remember why he was relevant.
Yeah. Ralbanor, and I think that's his name. It may not be. Ralbanor is the king's brother.
Okay,
brother,
okay, that's
and
right.
He and
That's
his
right.
wife get executed for treason.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they thought that the boy
was killed.
And that is Silveren.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's his real name. I don't think Silveren's his real name.
We'll get into plot in that regard because I have a theory.
Okay.
But we'll get to there. We'll get to that.
But there were so many S's and R's. And
okay, fair. Yeah. Reynald, Raymond. Yeah.
So I got confused and I thought that Selva was a person for probably 50% of the book.
Okay.
But not anymore.
Not anymore.
I'm on the true path.
I do think that this book would be so fun to like, reread, knowing what you know. And like being able
100%.
to yeah.
In fact, I thought to myself, maybe I should just start over. At like 40%, I thought maybe I should start over.
Oh.
It was that bad.
Dang, okay.
So now you're understanding my 3.75.
I am.
Like, genuinely, that is the reason why I took it down so much.
Okay.
But the world in general, I thought that the magic was interesting because obviously Maggie has magic and we don't know why.
Right.
And that is so frustrating.
What?
No, it's frustrating in the sense that, like, I have to wait to find out.
Oh.
And I told Nolan, I was like, this is why I try not to read, like, not completed series. But that part is, like, an unknown an element. But there's mages, and I didn't really understand the significance of the mages until later in the book. And then, as you said, like, each of the great houses has different magic types, which I thought those were cool and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't really play a role until the, like, Everard's did. Creeben, I should have listened to the audiobook before this. But his emotions reading doesn't even become a factor until the last couple of chapters. Like, you just don't get to see any of it in action.
But she's trying to avoid him like the plague.
That's fair. That's very fair.
So
other things about the magic, though, it was fine.
Yeah.
I'm most intrigued by the portal, but I don't know anything about it yet.
Yeah.
I like the magical creatures, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I liked Maggie's magic was very cool. I don't think I've ever read a book with like an undying character.
Oh yeah, I did forget about that part too.
That makes me laugh also about the part where it's like Reynald was like, it's kind of a misnomer, isn't it? About Maggie the Undying.
Yeah,
she still
and
dies.
She dies. Maggie keeps coming back to life.
Right. That made me laugh so much.
I think that's funny too. I forgot about that part.
Mm-hmm. But Maggie's was interesting. I liked the whole political structure of like there's these houses and they rotate of who gets the kingdom and you know.
Wait, what?
The king is based on like which house has the most power at the time. Ilona Andrews literally has a PDF of the cast of characters and it gives you definitions of all of them. This is amazing.
Kill myself.
Okay, the
that
families.
That could change my reading experience.
Okay, the families. The Creeben great family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's...
You're telling me that Savin is from the Creeben great family?
No,
I don't think so.
Yes, he is. No, he's from the Savaric family. That's what it is.
I see another S.
You're killing me. Okay, Ulnar Creeben, the Creeben family. That's the bad guy with the emotional manipulation. Okay?
Okay.
Then there is the Savaric great family. This is the crown. They are the most powerful house that are controlling the throne right now.
And they have been for a long time.
They have been.
Okay.
That's also Silveren's. He's part of the Savaric family, technically. Yes. Okay, moving on.
Because Ralbanor's the brother that got executed.
Right, correct. Then there's the Everard great family. So that's our Raymond. Yolenta family. This is Driantia.
That's the salt people.
Right, salt people. The Arville family. This is Dorian.
Bellin.
Yes. I
The
was like,
knight,
who?
the golden guy.
Yeah. His name was Doran Arvel.
Hercules.
Yes. He's the commander of the Defender Knights. And then there's the Boars, great family, who really are so irrelevant. Like, they're not.
Yeah.
They're like another one of like the knighthood,
Mhm.
Controllers. So those are the great families.
Okay.
So do you understand now? Like,
Yes,
whichever great family at
I
the
forgot. I
time
forgot the Sovereign
was a great family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Sovereign,
going back.
Selva, Silveren.
Going back to my main point was that I liked that there were these like great families, that there was so much like political conflict, and they all had these different brands of magic and colors. It kind of reminded me of like Harry Potter for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's like all this like contest and like battle for power. Even though I've never read Harry Potter, it's just like the colors really made me think of that.
It's such a classic fantasy world, and I just love that about it. You know, it did give kind of a Game of Thrones vibe at certain points. It felt very medieval, and I love that.
Yeah.
Magical creatures. So overall, that was like a very big plus for me.
Yeah,
like that's
same.
in the pros column for sure.
Love a good medieval cutthroat kingdom.
Yeah, exactly.
With the slums.
Yes.
And then the palace.
Yeah. Can I say one of my favorite things about this book actually was how gruesome it got.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Same.
We're not being pansies and taking out the torture scenes.
Right.
We're saying how it is. It's awful. And it's going to be bad, and I loved it.
And the cover really deceives you in that regard.
Oh my gosh, yes. It looks like it's going to be so sunshine and lilies.
Yeah, flowery and yada. No, it's not.
No, it's kind of dark at points.
It is. It makes me, this is super random, but it makes me think of the Kingdom of the Wicked. And that was another series. It was about like the 7 deadly sins. And of that nature, you have like greed and gluttony and like war, murder. And it was the most soft, like, what do you mean these are the 7 deadly sins? And they're like just chit-chatting, and like there's no gruesome, there's no brutality, there's no gore. This did not shy away from that. This was like, this is a cutthroat kingdom. The livelihood of these people is brutal, and it's mind games, and it's torture, and it's slums and slavery. And I'm really glad they didn't shy away. It made it really interesting.
I agree. And I think that that was the vibe of the story that she said that she read. And so I'm glad that the authors actually followed through on that and gave what
didn't hide it.
Yeah. I that was something I really enjoyed, and I thought that was well done. It was a complaint of some of their normal readers, because Kate Daniels is not as gruesome and like honest, you know? And so they were saying they were not expecting that, and they didn't like it. And I said, well, authors are allowed to branch out. So
I was going to add one more thing about kind of magic and world building. Yeah, once we had a foundation of realists, I like that we got into like the Okula and Selva. Well, Selva technically is like part of like realists, but like that we branched out, that this world wasn't kind of like one-dimensional. You know what I mean? So that's very small.
Yeah, it didn't really ever dive into Selva that much though.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah, it was the world itself felt very isolated to Keratorin, which is such a small amount of space, but the whole entire plot takes place there. And so I have to think there's going to be some kind of like journey. Book 2 classic situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plot and characters.
I mean, the first half has quite a bit going on. It felt very subplotty and didn't have much direction.
In what way?
Very early on, I just found it very odd that she decided, I'm going to save all my favorite characters. It felt like such a shallow reason.
What?
I'm not going to investigate anything into how I got here. It's going to be just like, okay. I did not get to discover that purpose with her.
That's really interesting.
So I wasn't so invested in it until about 50% when we started to get into the meatier parts, you know, because we were distracted. We were distracted by the serial killer, like, which was related, but there just kept being these little things that popped up that drew her away from her purpose. I just did not feel truly invested in the story until 50%.
What at 50% was what flipped?
The betrayal.
Okay, so okay.
So the best part of that.
Which is true. My thought process was Her quest was very straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
To protect the entire kingdom from the Freeman family taking over. That was her ultimate quest. Stop Ulnar.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like that the plot still like threw you through hoops and
Yeah.
twisted and had these subplots.
Which I didn't mind that either. Like, I
Yeah.
actually really enjoyed when those things popped up.
Yeah.
Especially because we didn't know what was going on at all.
Yeah. And I think it was also an interesting way to tie in different characters. The human trafficking ring, for example, that's how we really got to know Reynald, and we got to know Caden, Clover.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that part.
Yeah.
Obviously, Maggie intimately knows the story and the plot and how things are supposed to happen, and she has the gut-wrenching feelings of the book that she's in.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not have the opportunity to like fall into that purpose with her because she already knew all those things. And yeah, she explained it to me, but it wasn't like I experienced it. And so I did not feel as driven by this need as she did.
Mm.
You know? So I wasn't so invested. Also, as I said, I was struggling to even keep up with what was going on because there was so much information presented to you in the first half that I was like, oh my gosh, how do I keep track of all that and be paying attention to the overall storyline? Is how I felt.
So for me, it kind of was like we are on the precipice of always changing the future. And that was like high stakes to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Maggie was like super witty and clever, but also like still empathetic towards like the characters that she loves in the story. So I thought she just handled it really well. And I like that we kind of went from character to character. Like, I like that we started there with the character that she, like, loves.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, how do I help them without, like, changing the future? And then she makes that sacrifice. Be like, I don't care because I love this character. And, like, their end is so brutal. So, to me, it was like, oh my gosh. Like, but, like, what's that change in the future gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, like, are we gonna end up, like, at the end of the book with like the entire future changed and like she doesn't know the book at all and it's like unrecognizable? So I felt like
I feel like that's a book 2 thing. I do not feel like it burned her enough, to be honest. Like, even in the end, it wasn't because the future burned her. It's just that,
well, she like was successful.
What?
Well, it was
no,
like
I'm
she
saying
was
with silveren, like the plot bomb with silveren.
Oh, you saw it coming?
No. I'm saying that I don't think that happened because of changes that she made.
No, yeah.
So I'm saying like that isn't even what burned her.
No, yeah.
I would have felt like it was a little higher stakes because the thing with reynald only happened because she made assumptions. It wasn't because she changed the future.
No, yeah.
The thing with reynald, like, he died the day that she showed up.
Yeah.
So that wasn't even her fault.
I'm more so saying like the fear of her changing it. Not that she actually did. She was successful in not changing it.
I would have been a little bit more scared about it though if it had actually burned her, is my point.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
And I feel like that it happened a couple of times, but not to such an extent where I was like, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
You know?
So she got into like bad danger.
Yeah, exactly. I guess maybe the serial killer, like when she ends up getting kidnapped, like, yes, that was a big thing, but
big change from the plot. Yeah.
But I will say I enjoyed the journey. I did enjoy the journey. It's about the journey. I did enjoy that. Overall enjoyment of this book and the first half was there. I just couldn't let some things go. I couldn't be fully enjoying it. Okay. Not until something like really big crazy that happened and I was like, whoa. I was like, let's lock in.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, like the first 50%, I was kind of like just moving along through the plot. Like, okay, we're doing this little side quest, we're meeting these characters, going throughout this city. Because the beginning hooked me so strong. So, like, I was not gonna just DNF this book. I wanted to see where it went.
I wouldn't say I was truly hooked until the garden.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously when she dies and then resurrects, that was chill.
See, I just thought she was like so cool. She's like in her rags and she's like, I'm gonna go rob this guy. I'm gonna have to kill this character.
I thought she was in survival mode.
Yeah.
But then once things like finally actually did slow down, like she only thought about her family like once.
That's not true.
6 weeks.
Oh, every 6 weeks. I thought you meant once.
No. Like not actually 6 weeks because I don't even think the book is that long.
Yeah, it's not.
But like once every 4 days, she'd be like, "Oh, I miss my brother," sort of.
What? Sort of. She did.
Yeah, she did. She'd feel guilty about not thinking about her parents more. I was like, bitch, you should feel guilty. That's crazy.
But
I would think of you.
I would think of
cry
you too,
because-
but I'd also think I need to freaking, this kingdom's gonna kill me. That's what I would be thinking.
Yeah, but it would keep me up at night.
Yeah. I mean, maybe initially, but then I feel like there'd be a point where you're like, I can't escape. Like, I needed to survive.
I understand that,
I need
but
to
it
get to
doesn't
the
mean
end of the tunnel.
I can't turn off missing you.
Yeah. Well, me neither.
Apparently Maggie can. Psychopath.
What do you expect? You want her to talk about her family the whole book every night?
No, but I would expect her to at least like give us more details about her family other than her dad was a veteran.
I guess.
Like we just knew Maggie so little. We knew she was a poli-science major. We knew that she was a DoorDash deliverer.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew that she had no friends and was lonely, that she had a brother and she had parents. But like,
what else do you want to know?
I'd like her to have some kind of like personality other than being clever. And it's tough because like I enjoyed her character overall, but then kind of towards the end I was realizing like Everard doesn't even know her because there's nothing to know. Like she hasn't revealed anything about herself to him.
Everard's different, but she's honest with Reynald.
Yeah.
About like, I can't die, and like I'm not from here. Because it's like, well, me telling them I'm from Earth, the United States, is that going to fracture their minds? Like, what's going to happen if I tell them that? You know?
I think that
They're gonna
cared
kill
with
me.
Reynald, but she should have told Everard and messed him up.
Bruh.
That's what I would have done. No, I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of every reader's dream. We all fantasize at some point about being in the world of your favorite book.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
She may have liked it a little bit.
No, I think
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think at the end, she's going to be so invested and like into her life in this book, she's going to choose not to go back. I mean,
I haven't thought that far.
I would hope so. Imagine book 2, she wakes up, she's back in Austin.
Dude.
That'd be crazy.
I think if she did end up going back to our world, that would just be such a bitter, like, kind of ending.
Yeah, I think
Either way she went with it, like, I would be feeling it.
I know, I just can't imagine her like waking up and it was all a dream. You know, one thing I liked about her magic was that she was in pain when she woke up.
Mm-hmm.
She was magically healed of her injuries, but not the actual repercussions on her body.
Dude, that's what made the torture scene.
I know. Stakes were high right there.
That was like one of the best parts of the book.
I agree. Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And then she goes and she beats his head in.
Yeah.
And then she sobs in the carriage. Yeah.
I feel like we're kind of talking in circles a little bit.
Okay. Where should we go next?
Let's just start with the human trafficking scene.
Okay.
So she meets Reynald.
Yes.
Which is the first time she kind of like she's like putting together a plan. She's like, I know where Reynald's going to be. He's somebody I can use because I know his weakness, his son. She's like, I can get him to be my friend. He's going to be my bodyguard. We're going to start here. And then that's kind of where she's picking up her momentum on establishing herself in the world.
She has the inklings of a plan.
Right. People may be like, oh, she knew how to escape the dungeon or whatever. Like, she knew all along. But I kind of like that she just kind of like pulls this out of her butt, you know?
No, I did too.
Yeah, like I was surprised. Regardless of whether
shows...
Maggie knew it already or not, I was surprised.
Well, that's the point. Like,
yeah.
I think in all of her schemes, she never tells us. And I like it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed being surprised. And I enjoyed her cleverness. Which I will say that is one thing that was crazy about, I think from a writing style standpoint, is how the authors had to pretty much write a fantasy book inside of a fantasy book.
Yeah.
And I think that was very impressive to me. I thought that several times, like, they had to have this plot point fully fleshed out and it be totally separate. And then they had to also come up with Maggie's schemes with what to do with that information.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought it was cool too.
That was impressive. But like the hole in the latrine or whatever it was, the wall was one of those scenarios. It was like they had to have that already planned out.
Yeah. And then at the end she dies and you're like, what?
I know.
Is she gonna come back to life? You don't know.
Yeah.
And then Reynald's there and he's like freaking out. He's like, I stood by your side the entire time. I saw one of
Reynald.
your, I know, I saw one of your Fable updates and it was like, I want Reynald and Maggie to have a crush
I
on
want
each
them
other
to
so
crush each
bad. And I
other.
felt the exact same.
I think the first time when I said that was when they're having tea on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Tension, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
It was there. It was there.
You have a home here.
Yeah.
Sit down and
Yeah.
stay.
Come join us.
Yeah, I was instantly drawn to his character, I think,
Mhm.
because he had this sob story with his son and
Mm-hmm.
you wanted that to work out so much.
Mhm.
So we also have her involvement with the Shears.
Yeah.
I was really intrigued by Solentine's character from the beginning.
Yeah. When
And
she first meets him.
Yeah, so she first meets him, and then she gets paid for the information she gave. But then he really doesn't show up again until around 50%.
Yeah.
And I was scared that we weren't going to get more of him
Mm-hmm.
because she even says that he's one of her favorite characters.
Mm-hmm. But she's also kind of like afraid of him.
Oh yeah, terrified.
Yeah.
She's afraid of everybody.
Yeah.
Which I would
Well,
be
except
too.
like Reynald.
Well, but even Reynald, she was saying he's terrifying.
Yeah.
The monster or whatever.
Oh, like his being a swordsman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really thought that coming out of the slaver situation,
Mm-hmm.
I really thought that Clover and Caden were going to end up piecing out.
Yeah.
So I was kind of shocked when they took them in.
And I love them.
Yeah,
I
know,
ended
same.
up loving their characters a lot.
Me too. Especially Clover. I loved
Mhm.
Clover.
Me too.
And then I ended up having an affection for Caden as well, even
Yeah.
though I was kind of like, what's his purpose?
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought to myself, is she not going to try to be a big sister to him? But then she ended up doing it, you know?
Yeah.
I think the next big thing, though, is the serial killer.
Did the salt come first?
Yes.
Because what was it that they found in the salt again?
More salt.
No.
Just kidding. Steel? I think it
the
was
steel.
metal. What did they use that for? Did they sell it?
I feel like Reynald made a weapon out of it or something. No?
No.
They just kept it stored?
I think that the whole point was to steal it.
Just to prove that it was
just
in
to
there.
prove that it was in there and also to show that somebody knew. Because the metal was being smuggled to
Mhm.
Hreben.
They were outing him.
Yeah.
Knocking down his reputation.
Yes, because they wanted to tell...
The cousin?
Yeah, the cousin.
Yeah. The cousin wanted power over the Yolenta family.
It had to do with the whole mercenary situation. The whole 80 mercenaries dying.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcon Point
Yep.
thing. It was in order to like negate that and to keep that from happening.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, kind of crazy that all of the little side quests ended up being interconnected as well. Because at first I thought, what's the point of this?
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out, oh, it literally all comes back to Hreben
Yeah.
in some way.
Yeah.
But I honestly, the salt thing I don't think has too much significance. But the serial killer plotline, I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was cool, especially since she got to use some of her earth knowledge, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she got to use her major.
Yeah, I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Or her early major.
Uh-huh.
You know what, one comment in the book that they don't know how to profile a person based on like their serial killer traits
Mm-hmm.
and things like that? It reminded me of another part in the book where she goes, they don't have basic algebra. And I was like, what are we talking about here? Yes, they do. How do you think they have like currency? And they're like, they don't understand math. Like, I understand math. I'm smarter than them. I was like, how do we think that literally there is anything without math? I don't know why that stuck out to me so much.
I don't know.
And them not also knowing how to fragrance soap.
That was so funny to me.
I know. I was like, it took me, I was trying to puzzle together what she was going to make so much. I was like, she making candles? And I said, no, they already have candles.
Yeah.
Like, they know what candles are. And then we made soap.
Yeah. Which is, again,
It's clever.
it brings you back to our modern day, like people fucking making soap all the time.
No, literally.
Yeah, like it was so funny.
It was funny.
Yeah.
She's like, I had a soap phase. And I
Yeah.
said, I remember the soap phase.
Me too. Yeah. I was
thought it
there.
yeah. That useless skill you thought you had
Mm-hmm.
coming into fruition.
Yeah, she's just
in
gonna be a
Kertoran.
millionaire. Yeah.
Yeah, she should be.
Mhm.
It was clever. She said, I need funds. And then that whole time, Everard probably was rich as hell and could have given her whatever she wanted.
Literally.
But yeah, the serial killer, in most intriguing subplot, I loved how that ended up being the reveal of Everard's magic.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was like, I'm saving the day.
Yeah.
And he had that whole time
Yeah.
up his sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it. If she had never jumped on the butcher, he never would have shown his hand.
Yeah.
So good for you for being reckless, Maggie.
Yeah. She knew when to like jump into action.
I agree.
Like she knew when to show her cards.
I agree.
For sure.
In the end, at the end too, she
Mhm.
did that when she walks out of the tower.
Yep.
Like just at the right time.
Yep. I just loved how smart she was.
Mm-hmm.
She was so witty.
She was very clever.
And at the same time, she was like so empathetic. I don't know. I just loved her character a lot.
Somebody in their Goodreads review talked about how they didn't see or understand Maggie's connection with any of the characters. And I was like, she knows these characters so intimately. And I was like, yeah, it's taking us as the reader a little bit to get there, but she knows these characters like the back of her hand.
Yeah, this is like me to Aelin Gillithines.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
What do you mean?
Exactly. So
she's
I said,
my everything.
Yeah, exactly. I literally know her.
Uh-huh.
But it's true. Like these characters that you've read, you know their inner thoughts and how they work and everything.
Yeah.
So that's what I loved the most about Everard is that there weren't any POVs from him.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's kind of this unknown character.
And all she knows about him is to be afraid.
Yeah.
Of him.
Yeah. But I think that there's this element of the fact that she doesn't really know whether or not to trust his actions before the reveal. But I personally think that that's just who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Kind soul.
Yeah, she just like hasn't come around to that yet.
Yeah.
She's still hurting from the betrayal.
I love it. I think it's so delicious that she keeps pushing him away.
Me too. I know. I'm eating it up. So after they end up catching the butcher, which that scene was really intense too. Oh, they go and get that random cat bird.
Oh yeah, because she was going to use it to find. That ended up being a little bit.
It ended up coming back around.
It did, but the intention of it did not end up being used because she got kidnapped by the butcher.
Yeah, but then they used the cat bird to find her.
That's fair. Yeah,
and then was it Will or Loot?
Loot
like took it on as a pet. I thought that was cute and funny.
Yeah, he's the tamer.
And then we find Silveren also there.
Yeah. I should have thought
I
should have thought something more was up with him. I just kept ignoring the fact that he was sus.
It's just because you just did not know anything about him.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to come up with theories and stuff, but I'm like, I just don't have any idea who you are. None. We have no clues.
And did she not either? Like,
she didn't
know who he was either.
And she's like, how do you know me? Why do you keep coming up to me? Like, I'm a nobody.
But that's not true because eventually she learns that his identity is Silveren. And she was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Eventually she does know. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember what she knew about him.
Well, Silveren is the one that had Reynald's son. He was in charge of one of the night orders.
Oh, yes, the Redeemer. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you.
And he's a bad guy.
Thank you.
Like, he's not a good guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that put it together. I just couldn't remember what it was about him that made him terrifying.
Yeah.
Or why we didn't like him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah, then we got our torture scene, which we already talked about a little bit, but that genuinely, like, that raised the stakes.
Yeah.
That made everything so much more interesting.
That was such a plot climax. So many emotions. She was actively avoiding him between then and when she was kidnapped.
Yeah.
So she already knew it was Reynald.
Because at that point...
Or Raymond, sorry.
At that point, Solentine gets involved right after Raymond gets discovered because he was like, dude, where the heck have you been?
Yeah.
You enter the city, you're not allowed to be here. And all of a sudden I find you with this random girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just outed yourself with your green fire. And he was like, you cannot leave this place. Like, you cannot be seen. And so she starts doing things by herself.
That's what it is.
That's when she goes to the Citadel and sees Lord Bellin because she's trying to save this third victim's life.
Right.
So she goes there. She warns him. Little does she know that that's Avril. Then she goes and she gets the bird.
Right.
And then she sees Silveren there, is able to get rid of him, and that's when she gets kidnapped.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. See, I can put it together.
Yeah.
Now that I know everything.
I like that she was being sneaky.
I did too.
Yeah.
And then every time he would just pop up and you're like...
Then let's talk about the adoption scene.
Oh my God.
I ate that
I did too. I literally read it 3 times.
I think I read it more than once too.
I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. Go back.
Yeah. I loved it. Because she's like so pissed at Raymond. He's like, don't do this with Solentine. Like, he's trying to use you. And she's like, shut up, Raymond. Like,
yeah,
you have no right to say that. Like, you're going to hurt me too if I take what you're offering.
Yeah. And she knows that family is everything to Solentine.
Mm-hmm.
And
She
so
knows
she's
him
like,
so
I
well.
can take advantage of that.
Yep.
And she was like, I would have a legit family.
Yeah.
No, I loved that scene.
Me too.
And I also love how afterwards Everard was like, you know what, this is going to be to my advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like,
he was lying all the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, this actually works for me.
Yeah, because he knew that she was going to give him pushback and never side with him.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like playing a part. I loved it.
Oh my gosh. And I loved the part where he's like, she's mine. And she kind of just stops paying attention because she's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And then he's saying, it's going to happen. And he's like, this isn't like you. And he's like, yeah, well, now it is.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I loved it.
Me too.
So good. So good.
Yeah, you get
so
that
good.
first sliver of like how Raymond's like obsessed with her.
Yeah. You also get that's like the first time you really see his and Solentine's relationship too. I love their little allyship, friendship that they have going on as well.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
What did he say? He said, you're standing too close to my cousin.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That was so good.
I love it. I love it.
I'm gonna go reread that after we film this.
I think I will too.
I'm actually gonna go reread this whole book.
I may reread the last 40% at least.
Guys, like after that reveal, I was like, I want to go and reread this book so bad. Like I just want to see everything that reynald did through like Raymond's eyes.
I know.
And just devour it. Because the tension was there all along. She got so played,
bro.
Yeah, she did.
She got so played.
Yeah,
twice.
She did. Yeah.
Queen, you think you would have learned.
She's just a girl.
Yeah, she is just a girl. I didn't notice either. I think in my Goodreads status update, I said she and I are so dumb.
Yeah. She and I.
Yeah. No, she got played, but I loved it.
I ate it
and
up.
there's nothing like a mid first book betrayal just to get your heart pumping.
Yeah.
And you just knew that she was gonna end up falling for both of them.
Yeah.
You know?
I also just loved like, oh my gosh, like she has a family here.
I
like
know.
they're actually gonna take care of her.
That is probably my favorite thing.
No, same.
In the whole entire book was the found family.
Yeah, it's like she's so lonely in this world. Like everyone's out together, like kind of literally. And it just made me like so happy that like she has parents now that actually would protect her at all costs.
Yeah, and they're gonna treat her like family.
At the very end of the book, I know I'm jumping ahead, but after the ball, when her brother shows up, I'm like, please, can you guys get to know each other better?
Be friends.
I'm like, please, I need more of him.
I know. I think I commented and you wouldn't have seen this because you haven't read the Fable updates, but I said this has got to be probably my favorite ballroom scene ever. It was so good.
So good.
So interesting and different. Yeah. And some jealousy.
And like stakes were kind of high. Like,
they were high.
Girl, you were showing your face, but like I get why you had to.
Yeah, exactly. And I loved how angry she was that neither Everard or Solentine like reached out to say that he was alive. The whole poison bit was a interesting throw in.
Yeah. Let's go back to Raymond telling Maggie that reynald's died. I cried.
I don't think I did.
I left a status update. I'm like, I'm crying over a character I technically never met.
Yeah.
Like I was crying about reynald. That just made me so sad.
It made me sad for Maggie, but I wasn't like deeply upset about it.
I think that's why I kind of cried, honestly.
Because you felt for her.
Yeah. And I did feel for him too, because like poor guy's like on his deathbed and he has like one last wish for his son. Yeah. Like you cry for him, like his son is literally or was in slavery. I liked that
Reynald and Raymond had an actual thing that connected them. Yeah. There was something tangible and more like intimate there than just I took advantage of an opportunity kind of thing. Right. Which he did.
Yeah.
But there was also feeling in it too. And duty.
Yeah. Like a bond at least.
Yeah. And I liked that ended up making sense why Gort and Raymond were also connected because through Reynald. That was a sad scene though. Yeah, probably one of the only truly sad scenes. Because nobody dies, right?
I mean, people definitely die, but no one that she
Clover would have died.
Yeah.
What's the next big thing?
The mages.
Oh yeah.
She goes to the slums and she's like, I'm a witch now. and
Yeah.
I'm going to read this spell, which
Dude,
I
thought her
loved.
teeth broke.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Okay, speaking of teeth, that part at the beginning where he kept like making her open and shut her mouth to show how
creepy.
yeah, that was creepy as hell.
Yeah. That kind of goes back to like this book did not shy away from the gruesome gory details.
Yeah, gross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I was very confused by the mage plotline at first. I was like, why are we going to the slums? Like, what is this girl relevant for? But I did like she's like, I have to remember this passage in the book by like to a T. And because she was like, I clearly have magic in me, so I'm gonna read this spell.
Mhm.
And she like almost died reading it.
Yeah. Do you think that there's more to Maggie's abilities besides the dying and coming back to life and the language thing?
I think there's definitely potential. Like she has, maybe she'll use that to her advantage going forward.
She could technically become a mage.
Well, technically, can't anyone like
Yeah,
read a
you just have to
spell?
know the script.
Right.
But she understands it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I liked how she, Lute, and Will kind of went on a little quest together
Mhm.
then. That was really high stakes again.
Yeah, because that's when what's his name was gone, right? Everard was gone.
Mhm.
He went back home.
Yep. On his magic bird. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the magic bird. And he's like, get on the bird.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
get on the
Solentine was
bird.
like, don't get on the bird.
Yeah. He's like,
whatever you do,
don't get on the bird. He's like, come with me.
I was like, okay, girl, do it.
Just go, girl. Go.
I loved how independent she was when he left.
Mm-hmm.
That ended up being something I really enjoyed about Maggie's character, just because she was like, I can't rely on him and only do things and accomplish things when he's by my side.
Right.
I was like, girl, you still went and you kicked ass.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
She did.
The girl mage, I think she's going to end up being a part of the found family
Mm-hmm.
because she comes back and she's like, I'm going to my room, leave me alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that means that the other mage, the one who runs the tower,
Mm-hmm.
is going to end up being a character later on because she didn't kill him. So
I think there's more to the mages that'll happen in the second book.
I agree. So really the next big thing is the ballroom, and we now know that Bellin guy, Arvel,
Mm-hmm.
is obsessed with her in a very creepy way.
Yeah.
And obviously that's going to have some kind of impact later on. As I said, that was just one of my favorite scenes because there was really good tension there.
There was.
Good character interaction with Solentine, and we get introduced to Rumian, who I think is going to be a major form of comedic relief
Mm-hmm.
in the coming books. And then we finally get it. The kiss.
The kiss.
I literally jumped up and down. I stood up. I ran laps around the kitchen screaming, going, la 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 la. And no one's like, what
So
happened? I
good.
said, they kissed.
Finally.
I know. Every time she pushed him away, I was like, keep doing it, keep
Yeah.
doing it, keep doing it.
No, the slow burn was so good.
It was.
This is the kind of slow burn I've been
Dying for. I know. I agree.
where it's like all this tension throughout the book and like, okay, just only a kiss at the end. And even then, like the kiss at the end, it's like, no, like we're still enemies.
Yeah. And
It's a moment of weakness.
She's like, you think you can kiss me and everything's fine? I said,
Mhm.
yes. Well, no.
But
You're
also,
right, Maggie.
yes.
Maggie, you're right. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep
Mhm.
pushing him away. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And the kiss was so delicious
Mhm.
too. It was delicious.
Yeah.
Yummy,
He like
yummy.
raced back and he like slams open the door.
Yeah.
He's like, get out. And then he
Mhm.
hops in.
And she's like, you're ruining everything.
Yeah.
Mid you're ruining everything. Kiss.
Mm-hmm. So good.
It was so good.
So good.
That's when she goes and she gets drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she gets back and she's like, screw you. Get out of my house.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of me swamp. And I never want to see you again.
Mm-hmm. And then he really leaves. He like leaves the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, he actually leaves.
He leaves.
And then the next morning, Arvel comes and insults the heck out of her and questions her parentage. And she handled that so well.
Yeah.
Next thing is she delivers the contracts. Dude, I thought that was so badass when she walked in there and is like, I know the kind of man that you are. You're going to handle this. And if you don't, I'll do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
I loved the contracts. I guess we didn't really talk about that when it came to the mages, but the contracts was a
It was a
very
good
interesting
touch.
detail. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good touch.
I like that it was Freeman's like his crimes on paper.
Yeah, and
I
it was
like
his
that.
weakness
Yeah.
too.
And it was like covered in magic, so
Mhm.
I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that ended up being what they got him on, because I feel like there are so many times in fantasy books when they're going to try to prove that somebody's guilty, but there's just no way to do it without incriminating yourself or
Yeah.
getting killed. And I thought that was actually a good way to use the justice system on a powerful character.
Mm-hmm. And it was like executed.
Yeah.
It wasn't shoved under the rug.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's probably more the fact that there is a justice system in general.
Mm-hmm. Sweet little man.
And Mateo.
Yeah.
Mateo had an interesting
Role.
role in the end.
I was not expecting him to be at the ball.
I
That
wasn't
felt really
either.
weird and random.
It felt weird and random, and I didn't really know if it was necessary.
Yeah, I
like,
don't think it was.
The notes being left throughout too ended up being actually the notes being so random and not useful is kind of the same as the fish to me. Which we never really talked about the fish, but guys, I read into that so much.
I did initially too.
I was like, somebody's leaving these fish in her room.
Yeah.
And I thought it was Solentine. I was like,
Me
how is he
too.
getting in there?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we're going to have some elaborate plan.
Yeah.
And there's a fish on her chest every day. I was like, what is going on?
Uh-huh.
It was literally a cat.
It was a Selka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's that one time where the Selka's like under her bed.
Yeah.
And Raymond's like, what? Like, what is that doing under your bed? And she's like, it's sushi.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's sushi.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little annoyed about it, but I think it was probably one of those things where the authors were trying to mislead you into thinking it was something more than it was. And all I did was embarrass myself because I posted about it 3 times.
Well, I was thinking into it at first. I was like, the answer will come eventually.
And then I thought Caden was the
doing
one,
it.
which, what a little tragic, cute backstory.
Yeah.
Not cute, but
Yeah.
I liked how she told him, you can keep stealing stuff, but you have to return it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was precious. I said, this 10-year-old is hearing and seeing things he should never have to hear and see.
Every character had so much detail in their background.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked that.
I did too. Everybody except Maggie. But I genuinely just think that it's because what's she gonna do? Like, nobody can know who she is.
Yeah. She's building an identity in this new kingdom that we're a part of reading.
Yeah. It bothered me that it didn't really bother any of the other characters. You would think that at least Everard would be trying to figure out what her secret is. And maybe that's going to be something that comes to play in the next book.
Maybe they're trying to figure it out in the background.
But I would be so bothered.
Mm-hmm.
I would be bothered.
I would be very bothered too. I mean, think about how bothered she was about, like, you don't look like what Reynald should look like. Like, you're too young. Like, she read into it a lot. Like, she was thinking about it a lot.
Yeah, she was thinking about it.
So
I imagine that he's thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can't, I mean, she's so upset at him for the betrayal.
When she's doing the same thing.
You're lying.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you always lying?
And she was like, I was so close to telling Reynald. Like, she wanted to come clean.
Yeah, I thought that her reasoning for not was so good, though.
Yeah.
But now doesn't have the same reservations. She does, but she doesn't feel it as strongly because she doesn't know Everard the way she knew Reynald.
Yeah. But then we finally get to the final climax of the story.
Mm-hmm.
The Margrave is doing his procession to the king.
Mm-hmm.
Mateo is there. And Rumian.
Yeah, Rumian saves the day, bro.
Yeah, Rumian's like the swords cutting things up. And then we see the beasts, which is like Maggie's like, whoa, this wasn't.
At first I thought, dang, this is so anticlimactic. I thought Rumian's gonna kill him, and he did. And then I was like, the Mateo's saved, the son Margrave is saved. And then all of a sudden she's like, for audio listeners, I just really widened my eyes. Experiencing that live, was very...
Like, the anxiety and, like, anticipation that she's feeling is, like, the Margrave is, like, slowly walking down this carpet. I was so tense with her. Like, the anticipation was so high.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
So tense.
Silveren, do we think he is also Undying?
He is Undying.
Do we know that for sure?
I think so. I mean, technically Maggie killed him.
Well, she's like, he had to be dead.
Do you want to hear my theory now?
I do want to hear your theory. Tell me.
I think that Silveren is the author. I think Silveren is like...
You think he portaled in?
Yeah.
And do you think he's been portaling in and out?
Okay, wait, hold on.
Do you think that he was ever... Well, no, he had to be in the story, or he wouldn't have the affinity for the beasts.
Yeah, more so, like, I think he wrote the story. Like, he's a part of the world.
Yeah, he's writing about his own world.
Yeah.
You think?
That's just a theory.
Interesting. That would be kind of crazy.
Yeah, because he's like Maggie. Like, again, if he is undying like Maggie, like, they both have that. That's so interesting. So there's not a lot of, like, magic repetition. Like, people don't have the same powers as each other. If you think about it, like, all the great families have their own distinct, different powers.
Yeah, except for the mages who can do any type of spell casting.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are Maggie and Silveren connected in this way?
Yeah. That's a great question. Does
Yeah.
that mean that Maggie has an affinity for the beasts too?
There's just so much unknown there. It's very
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah, I really like how what his character is shaping up to be.
Mm-hmm.
I love that the misdirection of Hreben being the villain
Ultimate
the
bad
whole
guy.
story, and now he's arrested and he's gonna be executed.
Mm-hmm. Which is good.
Also, like, are we ignoring the elephant in the room that, like, maybe Everard proposed to her?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? And he's gonna think she ran away.
Yeah.
And-
Attention!
And then Silvern's like, put that in your hair. I was like, ew.
Oh, the clip.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, gross.
Put that in your hair.
Put that in your hair. It seemed creepy when I read it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Silveren ended up being a very interesting character, and I didn't see it coming
Oh, I
At
had no
all.
idea. I had no idea.
at all. And she's like, "It's you, the person that's been following me around all this time." Oh, okay. The reason why my theory came around to, oh, he must be the author, is all the instances that he ran into her at first, like at the garden, in the the bone
Yeah, how
market.
did he know she was gonna be there?
Yeah. Like, he's like, "You're not supposed to be here. Like, why are you here? I don't know you." And it made me think, like,
Oh.
did Silveren, like, concoct this whole world? Is he, like, the author? Because, like, he would know everybody. Like,
Yeah.
he would be the orchestrator of everything. Like, Maggie should not be there. That's why I really was like, is he the author?
See, I was not thinking into that.
Like,
I was not reading into it that much.
how would he be, like, omnipotent to, like, know?
And he always
her.
knew where she was, kind of.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by, I mean, the cliffhanger of her being kidnapped is so criminal and brutal.
Mm-hmm.
So now I get to stew on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to that reread that I will have to do before the next book comes out. They're not even done writing it. I know, I hate to put that on you.
What's the last update? Like,
I think most recent update is that they've finished the second draft.
okay, I'll take it. 2027 release, maybe?
I'm thinking 2028.
Stop!
I mean, hold on. Let me go double check.
Ugh.
I followed them on Instagram today.
I did see that this book was awarded one of the best books so far of 2026 by Apple,
Yeah, I saw that too.
which I agree.
It is rated. It's just rated really highly.
Yeah.
After checking my sources, they've finished the first draft of book 2, I believe.
Okay.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take it. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to change my rating or not.
Oh, yeah?
I think I'll bump it up to a 4.
Okay.
But I don't think I personally just think the first 50% like does not warrant that much or more than that because of my reading experience.
Fair.
I'm really excited for book 2. This romance is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the plot is plotting.
Mm-hmm.
The cliffhanger is hanging.
Mm-hmm.
A lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
I am also feeling inspired to reread the Kate Daniel series.
Oh.
I think that the main characters are very similar, though. Kate, the main character in Magic Bites, she is also very, like, resistant and stubborn. So, but now I'm feeling, like, drawn to read that.
I would keep my rating at a 4.5. The reason why I docked the 0.5 in the first place is because that first 50% was just steady.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, like, in retrospect, like, I loved the book in its entirety.
I do have one more thing to say. After reading it, because a couple episodes when we did our discussion about romantasy books, one of the last books that we talked about that we were looking forward to was this book.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh yeah, I forgot about
and
this.
we said that this was a romantasy. And then you go and check everywhere, like Book Talk everywhere was saying it was a romantasy.
Yeah, it's not us.
Yeah,
Everyone
and
else.
then you go into the blurb and it says this is an epic fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you've read it, what do you think?
It is not a romantasy.
I agree. I don't think so
This
at all.
is so no. The plot is just so epic fantasy.
Yeah. The romance was definitely more in the second half of the book.
Yeah. The romance was not the plot. The romance was a subplot.
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to validate that,
Mm-hmm.
to close the loop on that discussion, if you will.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's all I got.
Yeah.
No
Oh,
other comments?
I'm glad you raised your rating. That makes me happy.
I am too.
Did I clear anything up for you? Like, are you a little bit less confused?
No, I mean, now that I've finished the book, I think that I am not confused really about almost anything. It was just that first half, honestly, like during the whole experience reading it was very confusing. But it's because I had trouble keeping track of the names and where we were and what was important, what was relevant at the time. Like, and I do think it ultimately comes down to a writing style issue.
Okay.
But the concept was there, the actual plot points were there, the characters were there. Going into book 2, like I cannot wait to see more of the found family aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna eat that up.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be delicious.
I want to reread this book already.
Do we know how many books it's gonna be?
I don't. Maybe a trilogy, like
Magic
the
Bites
original like series
is 9 books long, I think, or at least. There's a lot of them, so
I don't think this is cut out to be.
I don't think so either.
More than 3.
I don't think so either. I'm so interested to see how her power is going to evolve because she can't really predict the future anymore.
Yeah.
But you know who can? Mateo.
Yeah.
So now it's just going to be her and her wits and her cleverness, and it'll be interesting to see how that transforms.
Mm-hmm. And it makes me remember, she says that the last scene of the last published book that she read ends in like a hanging, like somebody's being hanged or like is about to be hanged. That never happened. So I'm like,
there was a lot going on because Scriben already has control in what she has read.
So she changed the future to like let's say like this was the first book that she read, The Rise of Kertorin or whatever it is. Let's say this was the entire first book of that series. So she changed it enough to where the Margrave does not die. Creven's in jail.
Mateo doesn't die.
Right. So the second book, like there may still be things that happen, but it'll be different. Like
eventually I think it's going to be totally, she has nothing left.
Yeah.
All she will have is her understanding of the characters' backgrounds.
Right.
She's still going to know them intimately and the way that they work.
Yeah. So. I'll be really interested to see when she breaches that point though of I have never read this. Like we are past what I have read.
Yeah.
You know? I'm interested to see, maybe that's where book 2 will end. If it is a trilogy. So
can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Good stuff. Excited. Good stuff. What a good fantasy to read in 2026.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with all the hype. I think this was very deserving.
My favorite part about it, just from like a very high level, is how unique it was. I really do think it was so unique.
Yeah.
Which you don't get very much of. So
it's true. It was really refreshing.
It was very refreshing. But that's it.
That wraps it up.
Yeah, we're done. Thanks for joining us again, guys. I'm Madeline.
And I'm Hannah. And you should follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and on Instagram and TikTok at Check This Book Out Pod. And come back 2 Tuesdays from now where we'll have another episode.
Yeah, stay tuned, especially on social media, so that you can vote on our July book club.
Yes. And if you're interested in our thoughts and feelings on This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, our status updates are still on Fable. So you can go check that out in our archive.
Go check it out. For one day and one day only.
Well, you can go back in the archive.
That's true.
Check the updates. So if you're interested, join our book club. Is that all?
That's it.
All right.
Bye,
See you guys.